Good morning. Welcome to week 8. We've made it to our last week of the course for the semester, and I'm hoping that this week ends up being maybe just a little lighter, a little easier, maybe less stressful than video taping and recording yourself and uploading that as last week was. Yeah, this week is kind of a wrap up of everything that we've learned and how we're going to kind of put it into action. I know many of you are already teaching computer science classes, but some of you aren't. And so this would be kind of a fun way to revise and look at how what you have learned or hopefully learned the past 8 weeks can mesh with what your school's policy is on computers and acceptable use. What you're going to be doing is coming up with a plan for your classroom, current classroom or future classroom that matches your district's acceptable use policy, which many of you actually looked at in week 1. So maybe a revisit of that. And you're kind of making a plan to kind of ensure ethical use of computers by your students. I would highly recommend that you look at the rubric, as always, but especially this week, as that it has most of the details in it. We didn't write that in the module for the week, so it's not written in there. But I would look at it. It talks about the physical space that you're using, talks about the differentiation for different learners that might be in your class, ethical responsibilities you may have to take, along with any resources that are provided to you or that you might make available to your students. So make sure you check that out as you're planning and preparing to write that. Along with that, there's a 400-word response, and that's stated in the rubric as well. So make sure that that's a good length. We're looking for more than just a paragraph response on this. That's kind of a wrap up of your takeaways of this class as it relates to assessment and problem solving and creating projects for your classes. I would basically include any expectations also that you had coming into this class, things that you were wondering about, hope to learn, whether or not you did meet those, we met those as a class, or whether you're still wondering about those. I know there's going to be areas that are weaknesses for me and for this course. And, this being the second year we've offered this course or second semester, we really appreciate the feedback. I know I've communicated with a number of you on some errors already, but hopefully there were some positives as well as to things you're able to learn and take away and how you were pushed as educators the past 8 weeks. Along with that response, and that can all be in one document. You don't have to submit that in 2 separate documents at all. The discussion post this week goes along with kind of how do you meet students with different ability levels or cultural differences within your classroom? How do you set yourself up to accommodate those students who may not be like a majority of your students? Maybe you already do that, and it'd be great to hear from you and sharing with the rest of us how you set your classroom up that way, and then also make sure you respond to at least 2 of your classmates as well. And the last thing, which is pretty standard for all of our courses, and any grad school course you would take, would be just a final evaluation. Again, we appreciate the feedback. Positive, negative. We know hopefully there's probably some of both that we can build upon. Things that we know work and things that we know we have to fix. So if you could do that, that would be great. We need everything, the evaluation, your project, your discussion really needs to be turned in no later than Monday the 14th, as we got to get stuff in for final grades on the semester. So if you make any revisions to anything, if you go back to previous weeks and want to redo something, that's an open door option for me in this course, and I would appreciate you doing that, but they do need to be in by that date just to make sure we get it all in. So it's been a pleasure walking alongside you and with all of you these past 8 weeks, and I appreciate the feedback you've given me, the emails back and forth, the clarifications. You guys are amazing educators. You ask the right questions. You want to do well. You want your students to do well, and there's not much more that I can ask than that. So I pray God blesses you in your journey on being an educator and continuing your work in the area of computer science, whenever that may be, now or in the future. So thank you, and don't don't hesitate to reach out to me at any point if you have any questions, even down the road. Always willing to answer a question or two, or to bring up a talking point. So I'll stop rambling now and look forward to seeing your final week submissions.